Am I the only one who kind of just found out that the FNAF movie is almost 2 years old? And honestly doesn't feel like it's been a year even, and we already got the teaser for the second movie. As most of you know, wait, no, as most of you don't know, what?
That was a lot of effort for a mediocre bit.
Shut up, Jack!
That was a lot of effort for a mediocre bit.
The second game is my favorite of the original 6. I thought the second game was so unbelievably good, and it being a prequel and really introducing us into who Afton was, and you really get to go into the deep lore of the game. So admittedly, I was so hyped for the second FNAF movie, especially with kind of the weird way that the first one ended. I think Scott Cawthon really learned from the first movie, and you can kind of tell even from just 40 seconds of footage. There's a lot more cinematic shots. It feels like the movie isn't as choppy as it was in the first one. A lot more horror and even just more touches to the animatronics. I am curious to the fact if they're gonna go towards the idea of the movie quote-unquote being a prequel, because it's kind of a weird thing to think about, because like FNAF 2 in the games takes place before FNAF 1, but this is a continuation of the first movie. But we're also getting like bits and pieces of Afton's life, even though he's supposed to be in the back rooms of the first original place in a spring lock. But then you also see the FNAF 2 animatronics here, but they were also kids that Afton killed before the first incident of the children's killing. But then they're also here, which kind of tells me that we're going to get a flashback of Afton killing the kid.
I don't know.
That was a lot of effort for a mediocre bit.
It does seem like Afton is going to have a bigger role in this movie, as he should, because the second game expanded on his characters a lot more. But I don't think all of you should get your hopes up. Like, he's not really a main player until the third game. I'm curious to see Henry's role in this one, especially because Henry isn't a character that's explicitly named throughout the games and isn't really shown other than the pizza simulator ending. Like, obviously we know he exists and he's always been there, especially if the puppet is being included in this one. I'm just curious to see what kind of role he plays other than just being the puppet's father. Which, speaking of the puppet, we don't get to see her in this one. We know for a fact she's in here because the trailer does have her jukebox music playing. I think for the most part though, the animatronics all look sick. I'm most surprised by Mango, as she's the hardest one to probably control, and I'm assuming they're gonna use a lot of CG on her. My favorite part about the trailer is kind of how it starts.
Welcome back. Are you ready to start the show? Count with me now.
I don't know, that like couple of seconds gave me such a cool vibe for some reason. Like, that felt more William Afton than anything he did in the first movie. I don't know how to explain it. But the weird thing about this movie is I don't know how much FNAF they're leaning into. And what I mean by that is I think they're ditching the idea of it being a security guard, which is kind of the core of the entire franchise. So the idea behind this one is there's a Faz Fest, which is basically Comic-Con for the Fazbear universe, and the animatronics are just all on the loose. Now, the thing about the toy animatronics is the fact that in the games they're programmed to only specifically kill purple people, because in the lore at that time Afton was just going around killing kids, so Henry wanted to stop him from doing that, so he made the puppet and the toy animatronics to counteract that. But I'm also pretty sure that there are kids in the it's so fucking confusing. It's a cool concept, but I hope they don't abandon like one of the sickest parts of the second game. I think we get a tiny glimpse at that of where Balloon Boy is, but I don't know how much time we're gonna spend in here, or if it's just gonna be relegated to just like the first opening kill. Other than that, I don't really have much thoughts. I think it all just looks really cool. Like, the movie comes out in December, so I don't have much to say. I'm honestly just looking for another good time with the FNAF movie. Like, I think at this point people will understand and kind of accept that the FNAF universe is stupid, so I hope that the second movie really makes critics understand that. Again, other than that, I'm just excited to see more of how the movie universe lore is going to start falling apart and how just they're gonna expand the universe. But yeah, other than that, Freddy Fazbear that subscribe button, and yeah, Toy Chica.